The day is August 27th, 2022. While in the process of uploading my Alien Isolation series, I decided I was going to have a 1,000 subscriber special where I sat down and played through Deltarune Chapter 1. However, during this stream, what was unknown to me at the time was that a new text channel in my Discord server had been created. This ended up sticking out to me as I wasn't involved with the creation of this channel. The weird thing about it, though, wasn't that I didn't create it, but was that the channel's name was in binary and the description was in hex. This, along with the arrival of a new user in the Discord server named JGC, began something new, something unexpected for me. And these developments would be the start of what I will call the Isle of Mystery. This video will be summarizing everything that has happened prior to Session 6 in an effort to help anyone unfamiliar with what has happened catch up to speed before the arrival at the Temple of Phelan. I will be going over everything important, while also noting important conversations and having them voiced. With that being said, enjoy the summary of the Isle of Mystery so far. Pre-Session 0. Prior to Session 0, a text channel in my Discord server was opened, which translated from binary to world link in brackets. The description, however, was in hexadecimal, and this translates to timeline breached and invalid locale, both separated from each other and, once again, in brackets. From here, our new server member messages in what seems to be gibberish, but thanks to the power of online decoders, the text says as follows.
Creation link AVALRE established. Soul sacrifice Jarei, Carea, Corval. Target creation has no equivalent. Timeline not progressed far enough. Shatter soul to create interaction?
Yes.
Processing. Soul shards generated. Processing. Improper soul detected. Sinna Evra soul used in place. Is this okay?
Yes.
Processing. Soul shard locale created. Body transfer allowed. Use?
Await further input. What is this code? Interesting. I'll have to decode this. Your code must be a little buggy or something. Or this means something. Interesting.
Image sent in transmission.
Interesting. Their titles are coded similarly. I wonder, could I extract data if they're logged from this?
Once this was translated, we received more text, which was decoded by a Caesar cipher, which, if you shift it to the right by 6, it gives us the following dialogue.
Testing new code. Test complete.
Damn it. I wish the Cavalieric energy supplies were greater for this. It's close, but not quite. Please try again.
Updating software.
A few hours later, conversation between I and this new server member began. Before I continue, however, it's important to note that the user JGC is comprised of two characters technically. Jarei, who speaks normally, and Carea, who is similar to an artificial intelligence and is the sister of Jarei. It's a bit confusing, but just go with it. Either way, with that, here's the conversation.
Update complete.
Hello?
Hello to you as well. I'm surprised this is working as well as it is.
What is it?
Well, the runes for the creation link. It's high tier arcana. I'm sure in your world you'll know well of it.
Can't say I do. It sounds like something we would see in a fictional form of entertainment.
In fiction? Like the mythos? Tell me your world has gone through the rebirth, at least.
Rebirth?
Universal collapse at the cause of an old god, eventually resulting in what is now the lone, empty space. You mean to tell me you have stars? I see why Carea said there was no equivalent transfer. Tell me more about your world. I'm intrigued, to say the least.
What kind of details are you looking for?
Well, what kind of details do you have to tell?
That's a little vague, don't you think?
I say it that way because I wish to learn in general.
Is it some sort of artificial intelligence that you are communicating toward? Or, I guess in that case, communicating with you?
Carea, she is my sister. A cavalier who's used her soul magic in creating the creation link.
Ah, so communicating directly with another person?
Do you not have cavalieric energy either?
No, we only have fossil fuels and are just now getting to the point of solar energy.
Intriguing. In my world, we skip those entirely. Well, cavaliers are people whose souls contain great energy. Some decide to lay their lives aside to bolster a community's growth. We've tried demonic energy before, however, the people involved got crazy. Deals with the devil and all that.
So let me ask, is your world that of Earth?
First, tell me how you're currently categorizing your years. If your world hasn't seen the rebirth yet, that means you're still of the old worlds.
I believe he is not from our time.
You're in contact with the year 2022.
Lincia is the only world I've ever known. Earth may be a name from the past universal instance prior to the rebirth. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
So this Earth of yours. Mountains, lakes, oceans, right?
That's correct. Only intelligent life forms we're aware of is ourselves. We've only recently been able to look at the surface of Mars, fourth planet from our sun.
And by us, do you mean just humans?
That's correct.
Very intriguing. No Eldarians, Valefer, or heck, even dwarves?
None of those that we're aware of. I'm still trying to process the possible differences in our realities. They seem to be quite drastic.
Very drastic indeed. I'll admit, I'm just as lost as you are in all of this.
From here, more conversation appears, but it isn't wholly necessary to understand. Just know that after this, conversation about the difference between the worlds and how they work are discussed, such as the sun and moon in Jarei's world are whole ass dragons. Like, bro, that's just so cool. Anyway, after this discussion, there's radio silence on the Discord front. However, over a 5-day period, Datboy, the game master of this campaign, uploads 5 videos explaining the game we'd be playing on stream. The first video reveals nothing of importance to us, however, every other video does. The first thing I'll draw attention to is if you increase the brightness, you'll get the following phrases in each video's thumbnails. Soul links? Please help me, I don't want to be a puppet anymore. This world link is a curse on us all and breaks the laws of nature.
Enter password to restart.
Remember that a password is required because that becomes important later, but from here we will investigate other secrets. In the character creation video, we learn that JGC's identity is that of Jarei Carea Corvel, and that he is something called a chronomancer. In the combat video, we see two sections which seem quite curious and possibly is some type of code, but as for what these are, I'm not too sure. We have some hints toward how to solve this, but this will be later. For now, here are the clips.
Jarei, according to our sheets, has 7 movement squares that he can do in a turn. Movement squares, unlike D&D, are calculated based off of how these squares adjacent to our character are set up and up. So, for instance, let's pull us back down to here, and as such, do that. Of course, you know, it's not always going to be simple. Sometimes we will have to, you know, do some weird actions to get to exactly where we want to go. You're just gonna have to basically figure out what works best for your character.
In the crafting video, we get a look at the runic language.
Learn and decipher the entirety of the runic language, which is the main language that spells are written in Mbud. And I'm scrolling over all of them so that you all can take a look and read over them. They're relatively simple. The way that the whole reading and writing system of it works is basically if a two-letter... So, here, I will scroll through all this and then I will explain once I get down to the end, because I have something that down at the bottom actually makes sense.
Which allows us to translate what is in JGC's profile picture, which will be shown here. When translated, we get YCYREA YTIOYN YLINYK AVALYREAA. If you take the Y's out of this, it spells Creation Link Alvari AA. We also have numbers that flash quickly.
You play your game properly.
To translate, they're making me make this link for him. And finally, if we look at the transcript, we have as follows.
Kalidor wants to eat every creation, one by one. No world is safe, yours included. If I can escape my reality, I can save us all. Carea doesn't have the energy supply to get us both out. If we can harvest enough energy, we can transfer to your world instead of him. Please, make it happen. Please.
Finally, we have the final video, the beginner's guide. At the same time it was posted, the following was sent to the Discord server. In these messages, Carea describes that Jarei has gone comatose, and what follows is the truly disturbing part.
Your research is meaningless. Your search for escape means nothing. Your eyes are still sealed. I am the one in control. Your followers can't use my words to you to find me. Your gods can't save you. I am inevitable. I will consume your world, and when I am done, I will move to the next. The Creator cannot stop me. I will consume all. When you awake from your coma, my plan will be in motion. When you are done, Michael will use your soul to feed your sister for transport. I will watch her and force her to consume every inch of it. Your blood will be first of the many others that will follow. You made your bed searching for a way to move between. You made the crime, Jarei.
And following this occurrence, JGC went offline for what seemed like forever. Session 0. The day after the beginner's guide was uploaded was the day of Session 0. Here, we meet the characters that me and everyone else will play: Gage, Ren, Hoot Poot III, and Tomathan. However, on the board were 3 sets of coins, and when rotated to be seen from Dat Boy's point of view, the top is 1, the right is 2, and the bottom is 3. This will become important to the movement code from the combat video, but as of now, it is unknown. However, after this session, the password required for the restart stated in the thumbnail for the beginner's guide was found to be 369147JGCLF and was found in the last 10 seconds of the beginner's guide video. Once this was put into the Discord server channel, JGC came back online and the following conversation took place. 369147JGCLF. Holy shit!
Rebooting.
Also, I said 69.
I am glad I enabled that protocol.
Hello?
JGC is still out, but now that I'm awake again, I can help.
Carea?
Thanks for finding that. And yes, it's me. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, just got system locked by a multi-dimensional guard creature for whatever the hell reason. You. The lab is a mess.
Is that what this Caladora thing is?
Yeah, and that's why it happened too. I've moved JGC to a more comfortable location. Healing and sustenance being given. Checking date.
We learned through this conversation that Jarei is comatose, and this leads us into the first session of Isle of Mystery. Session 1. During Session 1, us players noticed a new tab for our character sheets called Reference Sheet, and in it was text that said T130 equals AAAAAAA. Tomathan, played by Bro That's Rad, notices a lucky penny in his inventory. The significance of this is unknown as of now. This image was shared, which, when brightened up all the way in GIMP, gives us this. YKZ, bring to the clock tower. This is the pawn's rule. It's also important to note that there is a pawn on this image. There's also a section on Dat Boy's end, which could also add on to the coins where he clicks. So as a whole, if we have a grid, the top is 1, the right is 2, the bottom is 3, the left is 4, double up is 5, and up 1, right 1 is 6. Once again, however, this is all I have that I am aware of. After the session, I found some text in the character sheets, which I immediately shared. In W132, on the first page, was the phrase, "Why are you here?" In Z135, on the second page, was the phrase, "The isle is but an egg." On V136, on the third page, was the phrase, "Cinevra was simply a meal." In the fourth page of V135 was a random number generated between 1 and 8. And finally, on the final page, was an assortment of numbers from 1 to 11. Given that earlier we learned that T130 is A, I was able to create a graph mapping out base 64 ASCII characters, which is what YouTube uses for URLs. With this graph in hand, I was able to decode that the first 4 pages spelt out time, and the final page gave us a hidden YouTube video, which I will show here.
Politics is one hole in the system, and I will break free. I will send my proper role. I, the mindful end, I, the god of true destruction. Time can't help but rewind on itself. This multiverse has its own way, and I will bring it back.
And with that, we make our way to Session 2. Session 2. There isn't much in this session, however, there are more clicks, with 7 being in the middle of the grid. I attempted to get into the clock tower, unfortunately to no avail. However, slightly after this session, we hear from Carea. Messages that of which indicate that time has been moving unbearably slow since we were doing our session. And now that it was over, time has almost stopped. We also learn that Carea has been eavesdropping on a particular cult, and after finding out that a brigade is planning to kill a farmer to harvest the soul energy, she sends her armistice out to counter the brigade, which happens to lead us into our next 2 sessions. Sessions 3 and 4. During these sessions, our heroes fight Varens, a cult brigade leader hell-bent on capturing this farmer, perhaps the same farmer Carea informed us about. During this fight, a black rook is seen on the table, similar to how the pawn was in the image all that time ago. As we fight Varens, after a while of him taking damage, he begins to be taken over by what are red and black strings, almost similarly to puppet strings. He begins using these strings to reanimate the corpses of the enemies we fought, causing them to say the following.
Soul, fade, for your soul. He said me free. Break your strings. Break your strings. Feeder. Oppressor. Break the strings for freedom.
What's important to note is the file names, as if we put them in numerical order without the numbers, we get DDD in capital U, D, capital U, L, D, capital U, D. Assuming that N is number, L is line, capital U is uppercase, and D is lowercase, taking the morphs from the audio clips obtained from the length of each repeat gives us a new hidden YouTube link, that of which will be shown here. This, once again, is Morse code, which translates to 1 a.m. Many other oddities are found throughout these sessions, such as a key typed out key, and found a gold ring too small to fit a finger. We took the key to the clock tower and thankfully it unlocked it, so the only mystery left to solve is the gold ring. From here, at the top of the clock tower was an unattended control panel with a black pawn and 3 rolling tiles. Inputting set, which was the solution to the cipher in the black pawn image, caused the 4th tile to appear and the black pawn to turn white. Inputting the ciphered version of time in, which is Zosk, gave us 2 more inputs. From here, I put in 1 o'clock a.m. and the cabinet opened, revealing a clock key and a scroll. I used this scroll to learn another ability because I'm just too cool. At this point, our campaign stands at the decision to either head to the old temple as stated by the mayor, or to go to the silver mines as Carea said, which leads us to the most recent session. Session 5. This session was more lax compared to the others, but we once again have another spreadsheet puzzle. The words all together say the docks hide a glimmer in the water. What will you find? Silence a harvester's cry first, then I shall reveal myself. These were scattered throughout the 6 pages, and once decoded using, once again, my lovely graph, gives us fish 9A, whatever the hell that means. And that's everything up to this point. Conclusion. Honestly, I can't say I understand what's going on, even though it is something being hosted on my channel. I'm not the one behind all this. I personally expect things to get more problematic for me, as a lot of these puzzles have caused me to get stumped for days on end, with absolutely no idea on how to move forward. I'm hoping that this video will shed some light on this project that has been worked on and will bring some excitement to everything to come moving forward. However, that's for you to decide. So with that being said, have a good day, night, or afternoon, and stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one.